Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will talk about where specifically we can use passive voice. Now, why have I asked this question? We have learned both active voice and passive voice, right? And active voice we can use anywhere, but in certain cases, in certain particular cases, we can use passive voice only because it will be more effective and more presentable than the usage of active voice. So in certain cases we prefer using passive voice. So now we will see how we can use passive voice to make a sentence effectively and in which cases. So let's start. First, in case of newspaper report, we prefer to use passive voice in certain sentences to make the expressions more attractive to the reader. For example, the city was lashed by a thunder shower on Friday morning. Here, was lashed is in the passive voice. Now the question arises, what if the sentence were in the active voice? Why couldn't we write that a thunder shower lashed the city on Friday morning? The incident is same, right? Then why are we not using active voice? The answer of the question is the report is focusing more on the cities being lashed, which is indeed an event to be noticed, rather than the thunder shower. This way, the gravity or seriousness of the incident has been emphasized. Next, in case of any announcements, invitations, or formal request, passive voice is preferred than active voice as a sign of courtesy or politeness. For example, passengers are requested not to smoke in the bus. Students are invited to attend the annual function. Here, are requested and are invited are the passive voice of the verbs. Next, in case of any historical discovery, passive voice is preferred as a sign of universal statement. Like, America was discovered by Columbus. Here, was discovered is in passive voice. Next, when object is more important than the doer, we use passive voice. For example, in the first picture we can see there's an accident has taken place. What are we writing? A man was injured by a car. Now here, why didn't we use active voice? Now the car hit the man. This is not important. The man was injured was more important. So we are focusing more on the man, which is object here, rather than the car. So that's why we are using a man was injured by a car. In the second picture, we can see that some girls are making clothes. They are producing clothes. They were stitching and making the garments. When it is not much needed to mention the doer. That means when we don't need to mention who has performed the action. For example, fine textiles are manufactured in India. Now, when we are saying fine textiles are produced, obviously some people are producing, some people are giving their effort to make, to manufacture or to produce those fine textiles. Then the machines will be needed. But we are not focusing who have produced because many people are there, many machines are required. That is not more important. What is the more important in the sentence? The place and the things which are manufactured. So fine textiles are manufactured in India. So fine textiles in India, these are the two important things, the place of production and the things which are produced. And lastly, when it is better not to mention the name of the doer. Now, in case of complaint, for example, there are three persons. Now, the first person is complaining something to the second person about the third person. The third person name cannot be mentioned for certain private reasons. So there we prefer to use passive voice so that the complaint can also be lodged. At the same time, the name of the third person is also not mentioned for certain privacy reasons. Let's take an example. I was asked to resign from my job without any reason. Now, I was asked to leave the job by someone else, maybe, but I cannot mention the exact name of the person who has forced me to resign from my job. And this complaint I have taken to another person whom I am communicating with. The complaint is more important to convey. At the same time, I am also not mentioning about the third person who has forced me to do this. So in this way, I am balancing both sides, both my complaint and at the same time not mentioning about the person for certain privacy issues. So in this way, we can use passive voice in certain cases for certain reasons. So that's all for today. We will surely meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.